you know, it's like, how do you write about someplace that you love while, you know, while asking why it's not doing better, you know, or why it can't be more. That was a really important thing, and I kept on trying to do it right, you know. And so really when I think about that record, I was just trying to write it with love, God, and war, you know. That's what it came out of it for me, is that, like, those are the three things that human beings write about, you know, really in the end. If you can think of anything else, like, you know, in the end, it's, you know, those are the songs.
God love war or God love murder. I mean,
yeah. Well, in a way, totally, yeah. It's true, you know. I think that's really true. It's like, those are the staples, and they're the biggest things too, which is what makes them the most important to write about. They're so huge, like, that you can write about a detail and it can mean the world, you know. Like that's what Shakespeare always wrote about. I mean, that's like, what else is there, you know? And I think that's what I got out of that, and you know, that record was just, you know, trying to get all of that on there, you know. And it was big, and, you know, sometimes it's exhausting as a record, but I really wanted to go for it. This record is, I believe it's smaller in scope, but it's like, but I was, you know, I was in love, and like.
Was in love, or are you still?
I still are. Yes, I still are. So yeah, and that stuff's really fun and important too. And I just wanted to write a record that was that was going to be, like, enjoyable to me, and, like, I mean, like, really just, you know, turn up and rock out, and stop trying to write about the world on a grain of rice, and just try and just, you know, throw the paint against the wall and see what happens, you know.
That's why. Then how come it's such a big title, The Historical Conquest?
Oh, yeah.
Of Josh Ritter.
Yeah.
Well, you wrote about certain heroines.
I was thinking, like, you know, there's, like, a bunch of, like, different heroines on the record. Like, there's Joan of Arc and Calamity Jane and Florence Nightingale and all these. But I mostly, like, I wanted a title that was, I mean, I thought the record was I wanted it to be, like, a rock record, but lighthearted, with some violence, and there's a lot of violence on the record, you know, implied, or, you know, from nuclear war to just, like, gunfighters, you know. But I still thought it was, like, it's a funny record, I think, to me, and I wanted a record that was, like, where the title was so big that it would just be hard to take it seriously, you know. The title being so big that it was just, like, ridiculous, you know. And I wanted that to be that case, because I just didn't want this record to be so, in my mind, to be a statement, you know what I mean?
So if I'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think that this album is a reaction to the heaviness of the previous one.
Probably, yeah, definitely. To a certain extent, you know, that's for sure.
To a certain extent, okay, yeah.
I agree. Like, you know, it's as Animal Years pushed out, I feel like pushed out the envelope of what I felt like I could write about. Like, this record was very much about how I feel I can write, you know, and push, like, you know, I still feel like it's pushing just as far, but just in another direction. And probably it's, like, partially in reaction to, like, to that stuff.
Isn't this more an album of the heart, and the previous one was more of the mind?
Definitely, for sure. Although, like, you know, trying to write Animal Ears, I was trying to write about something that I loved, you know, of my country, like, that I love, you know, I loved the idea that it was founded on, even if that idea isn't expressed the right way for me right now. But I do think that this record is certainly more, like, in the moment, less theoretical and in the moment, you know, more in the moment than the last one, you know. It's a crime of the heart.
Crime of the heart, okay.